Hi beautiful souls, it's Simone here. I hope you're doing great. I hope you started the year off on a good note. And in today's video, I wanted to share with you this juicy little process that me and my friend of mine use very often to manifest our dreams and desires. And it just feels so delicious that I couldn't help but wanting to share that with the world for you all to manifest your greatest dreams and desires. A personal share, we recently moved to Australia from the UK, and it kind of happened all very synchronistically, very organically, very out of the blue, unexpectedly, even though we've been planning this for about 10 years, but something always stood in the way, whether it was work or visa or one thing or another, or this COVID and no flights to Australia. There's just been so many obstacles, and I wanted to share in this video the importance of not giving up on your dreams and how important it is for you to connect to your desire daily, because what you will be doing then, you will be increasing your capacity to hold it internally in your heart. This is super crucial to your manifestation. The process that I wanted to share with you goes, I'll go into detail in just a moment, but before I go there, I wanted to sort of mention, I have been manifesting this life of living by the ocean for the last about 5-6 years. And initially for me, it started with kind of connecting with myself, tuning into myself, to who I really am, understanding my deepest dreams, desires, and wishes. And a lot of the times we don't know what those are, because above that, there are still so many layers of false beliefs and limiting beliefs and expectations, of other people, what we believe we need to do and how we believe we need to show up in the world based on what our mom and dad wanted for us, and that creates inauthenticity, because we are still kind of operating from the early childhood programming, conditioning by the system, by the schools, by teachers, by parents, religions. And in my opinion, you have to go through a bit of a cleansing and detoxing to really get rid of all of those limiting beliefs and indoctrinated sort of beliefs of how you should be, what you should do, how you should behave, what you should be to other people. All of these shoulds simply must go. And when you are able to release that and feel safe enough to actually connect with your inner being, to the truth of who you are, to the love and joy that you truly are, only then you actually can start accessing your authentic self. And your authentic self is your highest joy, your highest love, your highest bliss. And it's just being. You don't have to do anything for anyone. You don't have to be anyone else but being true to your own heart. And this is so incredibly important, because only when you are showing up in your authenticity, fully accepting you, your light, your gifts, your power, your vibrancy, your essence, as well as maybe some of the shadow aspects of you, things, some of your failures, things that didn't go well, things that you used to judge yourself for, things that you used to hate about yourself. All of these has to be integrated, and you kind of need to come into acceptance between both the light and the dark, because in between, right in the middle, there is peace, there is acceptance, there is ownership of who you are. Understanding that all of your life's journey, all of it, whether it was, the good, the bad, the ugly, has brought you to this present moment and helped to shape you into who you are today. And accepting that both your light and your darkness will actually release you from the chains of expectations from other people. It will release you from any of the inner conflict and turmoil and pain that you may have felt because you didn't quite meet someone else's expectations, or you didn't quite show up the way other people wanted you to be, or perhaps something hasn't gone your way that you really wanted. And when you really kind of surrender and come into acceptance that all of that was actually designed to serve you, to shape you into the person you are today, then you are learning one incredibly important thing, and that is that everything in your path, everything in your life is designed to serve you, not to hurt you, but is designed to work for you. And what I mean by that is that you would have many lessons, many challenges and tribulations, and all of those would have in some shape or another helped you to grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes even physically, for you to mature into the beautiful self that you are today. And in order for you to really surrender and come into the full acceptance of your path, of your light, of your darkness, the shadow aspects, you really have to allow yourself to honor that. Honor your path, honor yourself, and through honoring yourself, you're actually learning to value yourself, value who you are, value what you've been through, value the, all of the challenges, all of the life lessons that you have had, because you understand that those life lessons have been a tremendous gift to you. And when you are in acceptance, that only then, when you're no longer judging yourself, criticizing yourself, or wanting to be like other people, when you're no longer comparing yourself, but actually honoring your qualities, your values, the things you are good at, when you're honoring your inspiration, your heart, your desires, only then you are actually starting to tap into your authenticity. You are no longer operating from the conditioned mind, what people want you to be, what the society, the church, the culture, the religion, the politicians want you to be, but you're actually tapping into the love that is you, your heart, your goodness, your beauty, your truest authentic essence. And the more you connect with that, the more you are actually able to access the wisdom that your internal being holds inside of you. And this wisdom includes all of your dreams, your desires, your life's vision, even your soul purpose for your life. That's how you access authenticity. And when you connect to your heart, I often do it simply sitting in a meditation in the morning and putting my hand on my heart and really attuning to myself. What do I need? How am I feeling? Is there anything that needs to be processed, that I need to accept, forgive, come to terms with? And when you kind of release that inner pain and inner conflict, you are at balance, you are at peace. And oftentimes I find that only when I'm in that really super peaceful place, that's where I can truly hear my inner being, without any other voices screaming inside of me needing my attention, because I have validated those voices and given them the attention that they needed. And that allowed me to fully then kind of go even deeper into understanding my authentic self and what my heart truly wants and what my heart truly desires. And then I am able to hear, those wishes, those truest desires that actually are my truth. And I'm able to honor them, and I'm able to actually tap into that energy, that frequency that my soul is already resonating, and I'm able to magnify that within me and allow myself to have it and allow myself to connect to it daily and embody the vibration of what it would feel like already having it even more. And I find personally that when I release any trauma, any inner conflicts, any childhood limited belief or perceptions, that's when this sort of central a path within me becomes clearer and stronger, and I have more clarity, and I have more, I would say, capacity to really embody my desires. And the more you have the capacity to embody your desires, to feel them, to feel what it would feel like to have that desire, you are actually able to then experience that desire in your physical reality as if though you were already having it now. And this is sort of brings me beautifully onto the process that I wanted to share with you. So my friend and I, we practice a manifestation process that is quite fun and slightly unusual, a little different from everything else that I've ever seen or read. And it goes a little bit like this. So when we go for walks, we start with playing a little gratitude game. And that sounds like something like this. So I ask him or her, my friends, what is it that you're really grateful for now? Give me 3 things that you're super grateful for. And it starts to we start initially with embodying the vibration of gratitude for what we have, because it allows you to really sink in very deep into the frequency, the vibration of gratitude, appreciation, love and happiness and joy. And then we move on to, okay, what is it that you would like to be grateful for, that you're bringing in, calling in, it's a future manifestation happening now. So what are you looking to bring into your reality in the near future? And you're wanting to basically embody the vibration now. You want to feel the gratitude for it now. This is the most important thing. So for example, maybe my friend says, I'm calling in a house by the beach. And then I allow him I basically ask him, describe it to me. What does it feel like living there? And I really allow him to go deep into the vision, the energy of that, embodying it. And we go as far as actually doing a little role play where I may ask him, so tell me, what are you doing? What's happening right now? Who's around you? And it's literally like a little play. So he may tell me, I'm cooking a barbecue in a garden and the sausages are sizzling on a barbie and I'm having such a good time. The music is playing and it really allows you to sink in really deeply into the energy of, oh my God, I'm having this now. This is now. This is happening here and now. It's so beautiful. And we take it actually one step further, and that's when I come in and I can, he invites me to jump into his vision, and I come in and I offer something that I strengthen that vision, because when there is 2 people tangoing, dancing together, you often find that the energy magnifies and you're able to actually manifest something even faster. And so for example, in this scenario, I could come in and say, I just rang your doorbell and I hear this loud music. Sounds like you're having lots of fun, but nobody's opening the door. So I went around, through the garden, and I see the garden full of people dancing and jumping into the pool. And I just want to take my dress off and having obviously swimming costume underneath, not just running around naked, and jump into the pool with you guys and play volleyball or whatever, and I just have fun. And we basically role play that as if though this is happening now. And the most important thing about that is that we allow ourselves to fully drop into that vision. It's happening here and now, because Eckhart Tolle says there is no future and there is no past. The only true time is now. This is where your power is. This is where you have the strongest creation power to call in, bringing your desires into the present moment. And when you embody the vibration of what it would feel like having it now, and when you do that with someone else, role playing and having fun and laughing and giggling and messing about, not attaching yourself to that desire, just messing about and knowing, believing that it's already yours, then this desire actually manifests much, much faster. It is the most delicious thing you can ever do with a friend of yours, with a family member, with your beloved. It's just such a beautiful play that is actually helping you create the future you desire in the now, in the moment. I absolutely adore doing this. So let me recap a little bit. So we start with the little gratitude game. So tell me 3 things that you're grateful for in the now. Then we jump in to say, okay, give me one thing that you're calling in, that you're wanting to create in the future, you're calling in, and you want to basically embody the vibration of that now. Fourth step is all about bring the vision to life by describing to me in the present moment what it feels like to have that. What are you doing? What, who is around you? Who is with you? How are you feeling? What are you thinking? What are you doing? What are you observing? It needs to be very grounded in your body. It's not about the mind, it's about the body. I feel it in the body, in every cell of my being. And throughout the entire time, you're allowing yourself to feel the gratitude for it, believing this is already yours. That the minute you actually put out the vision, jump into it, create it, allow yourself to have it, it's already yours. Nothing more needs to be done. The only thing I would say, sometimes people struggle to actually embody the vibration of it the first time round because people have maybe limiting beliefs or maybe have trauma that hinders that creation process and creates doubt or self-doubt. So in these situations, I highly recommend people to actually practice the same vision over and over and over and over. Allow a friend to jump into their vision, to magnify it, to replay it from all kinds of different angles until it fully sinks in into your body and you are able to fully embody it and believe it. Believing in it is the most important thing, because only when you believe your vision, it hardens into a fact. There are a million manifestation videos on YouTube, and I've certainly heard a fair share of them in my time over the past, 15 years since I've studied this. But I have never heard anyone else talking about manifestation in this way, where you actually role play and jump into each other's vision and create this sort of a magical play of you already having it. It's much easier to do it with a friend. I try to do it like a few times myself, and I have to admit that if you I struggle a little bit. Like if you have a friend to play with and to mess about and joke around and really allow yourself to experience it, like for example, that situation, you're having a barbecue and someone throws you into the pool and you're actually living it in the now. Oh, I just threw you in the pool and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so wet. I just went in, flying in with my dress and I'm like dripping wet. I have to borrow some of your clothes. Like you're literally playing it as if, and you're like literally asking the question like, oh, can I borrow some of your clothes because I'm all dripping wet and I don't want to be like running around with a wet dress on. Like you play, you have fun with it, and you really enjoy the creation process. And the more you do this, the more you start believing in your ability to create your reality, because without getting attached and obsessed about your desire, you're actually allowing it to flow. You're allowing it to flow. And by introducing laughter and gratitude into the process, you're really allowing the creation to magnify and just simply flow and be actually hardened into a fact. By practicing it over and over, you believe it stronger. You kind of embody the vibration of knowing this is already yours. And that's how you bring it into your physical reality. So in my case, like I said, I've been meditating for about 5-6 years, every single morning for an hour, because for me to to move from the UK, where I was living in a city, and initially I couldn't even imagine myself living by the beach. It was such a huge jump from where I was to where I wanted to be that it took me that long to actually manifest it. And on top of that, I've had a hell of a lot of trauma and abuse that I needed to clear, because I felt as though that abuse and trauma has been constantly sabotaging my manifestation by creating a lot of doubt within me, self-doubt. And I would just I kept abandoning myself. I kept abandoning my dreams and desires every time, you know, something popped up, and I literally was like, oh, this is never going to happen. And until one day, a few years ago, I realized, I didn't know at the time that I'm abandoning myself. I realized that, oh my God, you know, this is a pattern. It is a pattern of trauma. I have been through a lot of abuse when I was a child. And when you don't feel like, you know, there is anyone who backs you in your family, as a child, you eventually end up like, you know, what's the point? What's the point of even trying? Like, nobody believes in me. Nobody wants me to be happy. You know, when you feel like your mom doesn't support you, your mom abuses you. And I've had situations like, I felt a lot of the time when I was younger that my mom deliberately tried to like sabotage me or ruin my dreams. Like, I remember like so vividly quite a few times when I really tried for something. I wanted to go to an art school, and she actually laughed at me when I didn't get in. She laughed at me and called me stupid and all kinds of horrible things that and you know, you as a child, you don't know anything better. You give up on yourself. You give up. It's like, okay, so if my own mom is doing this to me, it must mean that, you know, I'm a failure. And you then start abandoning yourself. And I'm so grateful that I realized all these years later that I was repeating that pattern even in my old adult life, especially around manifestations, because the minute you bring something to your awareness, you bring it to light, you can actually fix it. You have an opportunity to change it. And there is nothing more important when it comes to fixing the abuse and trauma than rewiring your limiting beliefs, your subconscious mind. I've actually studied for the last 5 years on how to do this. I've studied various teachers, Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza, and eventually ended up taking on a few modalities, EMDR and Psyche and different other kind of energy healing practices, and over time, including inner child healing and trauma healing, abandonment trauma healing, and all kinds of other kind of traumatic sort of trauma healing modalities. And from those, I have actually created a little system that works like a miracle, that helps me to rewire my subconscious mind, any limiting beliefs, any kind of past painful memories that I really struggled with and couldn't release, couldn't forgive, couldn't accept. They were so brutally painful, and I was able to rewire them and come to peace and full acceptance with what happened in the past. And the minute you release that subconscious stress from your mind and your body, you are a new person. You have just created a brand new self-concept of who you truly are, and reconnected even more deeply to the essence of love and abundance and joy that you already are underneath all of those patterns and limiting beliefs and trauma. And that's the place that I really want you to connect to, because that when you get to that level of understanding self-awareness, self-connection, self-commitment, where no longer trauma and abuse and self-abandonment triggers you and hates you and pushes you into self-sabotage, only then you are actually speaking and acting from your authentic self, because you're in alignment. There is nothing else hindering you and standing in the way of your creation. And then it's only a matter of time before you see your manifestation showing up in a physical reality. I am super passionate about this. I have helped over hundreds of clients to rewire their subconscious mind, heal trauma, clear really brutally painful traumatic experiences, past memories that have really held them hostage in their own lives. So if this speaks to you, and if you would love to learn more, drop me a note below or book a session with me. I will share a link where you can reach me, and I am confident that even within one session, I will be able to help you to feel better about whatever trauma you have been through, And we can look at those limiting beliefs and traumatic experiences and rewire them and release them out of your system, so that you can probably, perhaps for the first time in your life, experience the life of freedom, inner peace and joy that is your birthright, that you deserve to live, to enjoy and experience in every single day. Because when you're in the alignment, in a place of self-acceptance and peace, you are manifesting on autopilot, because the subconscious mind no longer holds pain, no longer focuses on survival and trauma, but it's actually in alignment and believes that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are in fact deserving of your dreams and desires. And that's when your manifestations are happening on autopilot, much million times faster than ever before. And I know this because I tried to manifest using all of the other million conscious processes out there. Oh, just think about it. Oh, just feel it for a minute. Oh, just hope, hope that it's yours, whatever. Doesn't work. Your conscious mind cannot manifest, because it only represents 5% of what you create in your physical reality. Whereas if you start rewiring your subconscious mind, changing your self-concept, changing your concept about this universe, about others, about what you are capable of, how enough, how deserving, how worthy, how powerful you are, only then, when you have those beliefs within your subconscious, you are actually able to manifest effortlessly from that place on autopilot. And that is my dream for you. I know how I struggled for a few years after I've awakened, wanting to bring something into the reality, and I kept tripping over myself and abandoning myself. And then I finally had the epiphany, self-abandonment. I must hold the desire within me. I must rewire my subconscious. I must heal the trauma and clear the trauma out of my system, so that I can manifest on autopilot. And if you need help with that, please let me know. I am an expert in trauma healing and subconscious mind rewiring. I've been doing this for years, helped hundreds and hundreds of clients, and I'm super passionate and committed to helping you live your life on your terms, the life of your dreams that you came here to experience. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you are trying to manifest something and would like help with. I will be making more videos exactly on this topic, sharing my story, my journey, and tips on how to manifest on autopilot, because you deserve to live the life of your dreams. You deserve to live the life full of love, abundance, and magic, life without struggle. That is our birthright. That is what we came here to experience. I massively believe that. I want everyone to have that. I'm super grateful that I have been able to, after 6 years of trying and failing and trying and, trial and error, to finally figure out the process of how to bring something into creation. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but merely inspire you as to what's possible when you really commit and do not give up on your desires. And I'm super grateful to be living by the beach. We are 200 meters away from the beach, and you may hear the birds outside singing, and it's just so beautiful to be living in this environment after 6 years of struggle, spiritual awakening and healing, brutal, painful healing of trauma, letting go of people and work and old, things that no longer served me. But it was so worth it, because I've arrived at the place that my soul recognizes this is where I wanted to be. This is what I wanted to manifest. And I'm mega grateful for it. And I want you to live the life of your dreams too. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. So if it speaks to you, if you have been through some pretty awful childhood experiences, or maybe have some limiting beliefs that you're ready to rewire, you're ready to look at, trauma you're ready to face, get in touch with me, and I will be super thrilled and honored to work with you, help you heal, help you get into alignment with your authentic self and manifest on autopilot. Sending you so much love, peace and joy, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Much love.